Yo, what's up, guys? I'm Josh.
And I'm Jerry.
And this is our first podcast ever.
Finally doing it. Episode 1, baby.
Let's go. We had some time management issues. That's why we didn't post last week. But here we are. We're on the grind. So let's do it.
Our introduction got a whole 7 views, which really got us motivated, you know. I mean, 5 of those were from us, but...
Yeah, probably all 7 of them, to be honest.
Yeah. Got to start off small, you know.
Yeah, but it's all right. It's all right. I mean, everybody started small. You know how it is.
Yeah.
I'm sure Joe Rogan didn't have 1 million views when he started, so it's all right.
Yeah, that's true. Anyways, you know what I read the other day?
What?
Ostrich eggs have 2,000 calories.
What do you mean ostrich eggs have 2,000 calories?
Like,
where did you read that?
On the internet, you know how big an ostrich egg is, right?
Yeah, man. Oh my god.
That's
bro.
like the size of your head, right?
Oh my god. And ostriches aren't that big. So they...
What do you mean they aren't that big?
They're like ostriches, like their body isn't that big, but they press out like these enormous eggs.
Means I don't know if it hurts them.
How big? I don't know if I should ask this, but how big is an ostrich? Like Badussi, if you know what I mean.
I have no idea. And I don't want to Google it.
Now we should look into that.
No, we should.
Let's put it up.
All right, let me Google that real quick.
How big are ostrich cocks? That's another question.
That is something, you know, that I would like to know. Not for any particular reason, of course.
For real. We should do a full episode on ostrich badussis and ostrich cocks.
Ostrich mating.
Oh my god, that's fantastic. So, some life updates. Recently, as you already know, Jerry, I got fired.
Yeah.
Not for any particular reasons besides that the company didn't have enough money. But you know, it's all right. You get through it. Everybody gets through it. It's just another little stone in my way that I'll walk over. Yeah. Actually, I worked as a real estate agent. But, you know, it wasn't really what I wanted anyways, so it's all right. You know, now I got time to do some other stuff. Actually, we're working on a new company. We're working on a new company, marketing agency. Won't talk much about it.
Yeah, we just got something going because, you know, now that he's doesn't have a job right now, we... That sounds hard, I'm sorry. But... You know, we have enough time to start doing something because we don't just want to, you know, be stuck in a 9 to 5 our whole lives.
Yeah.
So
not that anything
trying to, you know, make it work.
Not that anything is wrong with working in 9 to 5. I mean, if you're having fun or if you need to provide for your family or anything like that, you know, it's all right. A 9 to 5 can be pretty good. You know, you have a fixed time when you get home. You have a fixed time when you get to work. So it's not too bad. But for me, right now, it isn't really what I want, and working as a real estate agent seems pretty fun and pretty nice because you have a good mixture between working in the office, being outside, talking to people, but, you know, working in a local real estate agency, like a family-owned company, it can be pretty boring sometimes and pretty, you know, not that nice, but, you know, it's whatever. You gotta make the best out of everything that happens to you. God does everything for a reason.
Yeah, we just, you know, we don't know if it's gonna work out. We're gonna give it our best shot.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we just wanted to let you guys know.
But it seems pretty good, you know. Everything is being set up very professionally. The first time ever, you know. Probably everybody already tried drop shipping and all that stuff, but this time it's the real deal, so we hope it works. But we'll give you guys a few updates every now and then. Yeah, but you know what I thought to myself? Is it even worth it?
Yeah, it's like everything going on right now in the world. I'm sure a lot of people thought to themselves, like, no matter what I do now, is it really worth doing? Because how long am I going to be able to do it? Is the world going to end or whatever? I mean, that's a bit dramatic, but, you know, everything's kind of unstable right now.
It's true, because... Obviously, living in Europe, we have a war going on in Europe right now. Like, only like, how far is Ukraine? Like 400 kilometers.
Yeah, it's not that far away. It's kind of scary, but I mean, us living in Austria, we don't really. I mean, we don't feel. We feel a little bit
Yeah.
of the war, like a little impact, but we don't feel unsafe. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's all right. But, nobody knows what the big man in the east is going to do. And if he decides to drop a bomb, probably everything is fucked. So,
I mean, he has said that multiple times. He
Yeah.
has said that multiple times that he's gonna
yeah, he's going to
launch a couple nukes.
take the right measures for all the, how do you call it?
What are you looking for?
The restrictions they put on him. Like, what do you call it? Like, they put, like, business restrictions onto him and stuff like
they're
that.
not like trading anymore with Russia.
Yeah. How do you call that? What's the word for it? Sanctions. With all the sanctions, yeah.
I mean, at this point, what does Putin have to lose? Like, he already fucked up so badly. Even if this war is gonna somehow end in a somewhat peaceful manner, for him, things are never gonna be resolved because he did what he did, and he's gonna have to face the consequences, and he knows that. So
Yeah.
at this point, he really has nothing to lose.
That's right. Well, you could only hope for, like, some sort of peaceful resolution, like, I don't know, some agreement with Ukraine that he keeps, like, 1 or 2 regions of Ukraine, and he can tell his Russian people that it was a win, and he freed Ukraine from the Nazis and whatever. But right now, it isn't really looking that good. Ukraine is having some wins, Ukraine is having some losses, Russia is having some wins, Russia is having some losses.
It's a pretty even fight.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like it's going to end anytime soon. And another problem is the US and the EU sending tons of war material. It's basically a proxy war between
they're
NATO and Russia.
Passively helping Ukraine, but in a way where Russia can't say, all right, you're actively helping them, I'm also declaring war on you.
Yeah. And compared to the beginning, because in the beginning everybody was scared. I mean, Germany was sending, like, helmets and stuff, and now they're sending tanks. So you can see the progress from helmets and vests, bulletproof vests, to tanks. So in my opinion, it's just a matter of time until this thing resolves in a full-out war between NATO and Russia. But,
it's eventually it's going to escalate if it keeps going, because as soon as Putin realizes, all right, Ukraine is getting he knows that Ukraine is getting a lot of help from other countries.
Yeah.
But as soon as he realizes, well, they might just win.
That's
I don't
gonna be a
see
problem.
anything stopping him from, dropping a nuke.
Doesn't even have to be a big one. Nowadays you have tactical nukes. So if he just wants to send a message, drop a small, like, under marks, small nuclear bomb, I don't think there's really that much against it, because the US won't do anything about it. Nobody will do anything about it. Ukraine will, of course, tell NATO and everybody to attack Russia, but I don't think it will happen.
Yeah, hopefully it won't happen. But
yeah, hopefully he won't nuke Ukraine. That's the first thing.
But I mean, as soon as he does that, as soon as he launches any sort of nuke or whatever, like, there's going to be a full-out war, because the US is not going to take that lightly. Neither are any other countries.
Yeah. And with radioactive fallout, that's basically attacking NATO. So if radioactive fallout goes to, I don't know, Poland or some NATO country near Ukraine, that's basically an act of war, and then Article 5 is going to take place. But you just have to hope for the best. But
Yeah.
it seems like the whole world is going crazy. Like, all this peaceful time and the time our parents grew up is pretty much over. Like, if you look at the world right now, there's war everywhere. Not that there wasn't war back in the day, but, it's getting closer and closer and closer to us. Especially now in Europe. Nobody could have thought that this was going to happen. I mean, it's the first invasion of a foreign country since World War II.
Yeah, and also the economic crisis before that, and on top of that, that doesn't make things better. But I think even if Putin somehow agreed with Ukraine, a somewhat peaceful resolution that he's going to keep the parts that he wants, but even then, he still has to, like, like, you know, face a jury because of the war crimes he committed, you know?
Yeah, well, nobody can make him face a jury. He'll probably just live normally, and if the war's over, probably everyone is going to be happy. I think there's probably going to be some sanctions going on further. But besides that, I don't see any, how do you say it, any things that are going to happen to Putin. You know, I think he'll be just living fine like before. And if he can declare a win for the Russian people, only for the Russian people, like, we know it's not a win for him, but he can tell his people it's a win, he's fine. It's only going to be a problem if he can't declare a win in any type of way.
I mean, one of them is gonna have to give in, you know? Ukraine's either gonna have to say, all right, you can take what you want, take those areas that you want to take, and just leave the rest of Ukraine alone.
Yeah,
or Russia says, all right, you know, we're just gonna fall back and...
Yeah. We freed Ukraine of Nazis. They could say that, but who knows? Who knows? I think Russian people are also catching up, or starting to catching up a little bit. That it's not this way it seems, and you know, Russian people have so much family in Ukraine. Ukraine is basically a part of Russia, or was a part of Russia. You know, Ukraine orientated itself to the West, but still Russian people and Ukrainian people, you know, it's family, you know. Russia evolved from Ukraine, so
yeah. Well, I'm really curious to see how this whole conflict is gonna go in the future, and how it's gonna end. I hope it's gonna end somewhat peacefully.
Yeah,
but you never know, you know. We are on the edge of a world war.
Literally on the edge. You know, also China and the US.
Oh, do you mean the spy balloons?
Yes, exactly. Like, so much tension going on between every country. Like, there's no single place on the earth right now where everything is completely peaceful.
Yeah, whether, like, those balloons, were they actually, like, confirmed spy balloons?
Yeah, like, the first one was officially a confirmed spy balloon. It didn't really find out much. Probably the US found out more about China and Chinese spying by shooting down the balloon than China finding out by, like, getting the balloon up in the air.
Yeah.
But it was officially a Chinese spy balloon, and they officially shot it down. And, like, maybe you've heard in the news, but, like, Chinese and US relations are, like, they are cut off completely at the moment.
Oh,
so
really?
It's really bad. And also, like, there's been one in Alaska, right? And one in Canada or something like that, which they also shot down. And one of them didn't have any type of visible propulsion system.
Okay.
So much weird stuff happening, for real.
It's all happening at once as well. First the pandemic, the economic crisis, Russia declaring war on Ukraine, now the spy balloons. It's like all, like, a couple of years ago, there was just nothing going on, right?
Yeah.
There was just
Life was good.
Yeah, life was just normal, you know. And then all of a sudden, everything just goes to shit.
Yeah, but I think maybe this is a bit controversial, but I think like, COVID was like the start of all of it.
Yeah.
Since COVID, everything's been going downhill.
Yeah.
Like, there were a few times where things seemed to go pretty well, but now I don't know. It's like a up and down. It's not a up. It's not a full on down, but like it's like an up and down. It's a roller coaster, exactly.
Yeah. And you were mentioning what did you say about the spy balloons before? Alaska and Canada?
Yeah, there was also one shot down in Alaska, as far as I know, and one in Canada.
Because that reminded me of something.
Oh, no.
It's a pretty funny topic. That did you know that in Alaska somehow 11 billion crabs disappeared. 11 billion with a B.
Okay, I think I heard of that. So what happens? Do you know anything about it? Because I don't know much about it. I just heard somewhere, somebody told me that 11 billion crabs went missing.
No,
I don't know what to do with that information.
I saw it, like, I was watching a video on YouTube, and there were like 4 people playing a video game, and one of them suddenly came up with that topic. He's like, "Hey, did you guys know that there were 11 billion crabs missing?" And then they joked about that thing for like, I don't know, 10 minutes.
We gotta look into that. What do you mean 11 billion crabs went missing?
I
Like,
don't know.
somebody
I don't know
stole them, they died, or what happens?
I mean, they probably died. I don't know if anyone could steal 11 billion crabs. Like, it's... I don't know why you would even report that.
Who do you report that to? That's the question. Who
What is
reported
Alaska gonna do?
that? Who reported that?
Alaska was like, "Yo, by the way, we're missing 11 billion crabs. If anybody
Who
knows
did they
anything."
tell that? Where do you report that, and who do you tell that? Who reported it? Who found out? That's the question. Who found out the 11 billion crabs were missing?
Some crab farmer doing his annual crab counting and finds out the 11 billion are missing. Now, I mean, there's probably like, there's like a crab population, and they probably noticed that went way down, and somehow they came up with the number 11 billion. I don't know exactly how they figured that out, but
that also must have an impact on like the economy,
definitely.
Because in Alaska, everybody is crab fishing, or like in some parts, like
I mean, everybody.
not everybody is crab fishing, but some parts are crab fishing.
Yeah.
So if 11 billion crabs were missing, that's a big number,
That's
right?
huge. That's very significant. Maybe it's like
how many?
Maybe it has to do
animals
with like the climate or something. Yeah.
Yeah, probably climate change.
Yeah.
To be honest with you.
I mean, we can talking about climate change. We here in Austria, right? This winter, we could like really see the effects of climate change. Like there was almost no snow at all. It's already like the middle of February, and we haven't really seen a lot of snow.
No.
Usually, we have so much snow in Austria that I don't even know.
Yeah,
we just have a lot of snow normally.
It snowed like for 10 days this whole winter. There were like 10 days where it snowed and not more. Also, it's much warmer. Like everybody was talking about the energy crisis, and we don't have enough gas to like heat our houses and stuff. But this winter was so warm. Like the gas from Austria is still like filled up to 80%. Normally at this time it would have been filled to around about 40%. So it's really crazy. It's a really weird time we're living in, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it's always like it's cold for a week, and now, especially now this week, it's just like 12 degrees.
Yeah,
like it's really warm. It's like
sunny.
spring weather.
Yeah, you can take a hoodie and like a normal pants, and you can go outside and have a normal day.
Yeah, but I mean, at night it does get cold. At night it does drop to the like minus 3, 4
Celsius. We're talking about Celsius.
Degrees Celsius.
Some American is listening.
I mean, the coldest I think the coldest was like minus 15.
Yeah, there's been like minus
area.
20 or minus 25, but I think we were kids when that happened.
No, I mean like this year.
This year, yeah.
The coldest I think that I can remember was minus 15.
Yeah,
but that's not really that cold either for Austria in winter.
Nah, it can get pretty cold up here.
Yeah, especially, I mean, on the mountains it's obviously always significantly colder, but
on the glaciers and stuff, it's always about minus 12 degrees from the temperature we have here on our level, which is 800 meters above sea level. But then on the glacier, which is 3,000 meters above sea level, it's always 12 degrees less than we have here.
Mm-hmm.
So if it's minus 10 here, it's minus 22 up on the glacier.
Yeah, but I mean, and I always see like these videos in America in winter when the roads are really icy, like black ice, and the cars just slide down.
Americans and snow is like not a functional combo.
No.
Especially, did you see last year? I think it was last year. It snowed in Texas, and that happens like once every 10 years, and nobody has winter tires or anything on it. Bro, you should have seen the driving videos. It was crazy. I wanted to throw up because people were driving so badly. They couldn't understand how snow works.
I mean, it is understandable, though. If you live in an area where you don't have any snow, usually, obviously you're going to be overwhelmed when suddenly the road conditions are completely different.
I know, but, maybe it's just coming from an European perspective. But yeah, okay. Americans don't like leave their hometown. Like they don't leave the U.S.
Yeah, they usually. I mean, yeah.
They go on holiday. I don't know, maybe in Florida or something. They don't see snow. That's right. That's right. Maybe a ski holiday or something like that. But like the majority of American people, they don't go like anywhere.
I mean, they don't really have to though. If you live in America, why would you go to Europe? Like you
Well,
have so many things in America that you can see, and so many
It's a big
beautiful
country.
places.
Big country, yeah.
It's amazing. Like the state of California is like, I think how much bigger than Austria?
Like 6 times the size.
It's insane. Just one state.
California alone would be like the fourth biggest economy in the world. If you take California and you compare it to all the other countries in the world, California alone would be like the fourth biggest economy in the world.
Damn.
Yeah. So
And
California is
you
carrying the US.
you can drive everywhere, you know? Like if you live in Florida and you want to go to Cali, you can just drive there. No problem. I mean it's a long drive, but
It's
in
like-
Europe, if I'm in Austria and I want to go to like, I don't know, let's say, I mean I can drive to Croatia, but India or stuff like that, you would have to take a boat or a ferry or
Yeah. I mean, you could you
could
could
drive.
drive there, but like you'd have to go through Syria or Russia or something like that. So many different countries with so many different restrictions and like entering policies and stuff like that. In the US, you can just go anywhere. But, you know, we're also living in the EU. Like before the EU, you had to get a visa for every country you'd visit.
yeah.
And now we can at least travel in the EU without any problems.
Yeah, and that's one thing that I really like about America is you just have this big chunk of different things. Like you drive up north,
Big
it's
chunk
cold,
of
you have
freedom.
snow, you have beautiful beaches. It's just freedom.
Yeah. Freedom. US loves freedom. Also
Yeah.
bringing it to countries in the Middle East. I'm
And
basically only shitting.
They love oil.
We're basically only shitting on the US. I mean, I've been to the US once, and it was phenomenal. Like one of the best holidays ever. Like the people are so nice.
I want to go there so bad. I've never
It's-
been.
It's so beautiful. Like I was in New York. I was on the East Coast. It was so beautiful. Like I would go there instantly again. If somebody gave me the opportunity to go there now, I would go instantly without a single thought, or to move there as well.
Yeah, and you said like the people are so nice. I've never been to the U.S. personally, but I've heard that so many times that the people there are just so nice.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. Like, I mean, it's probably a cultural thing. You know, people in the U.S. ask questions like, "Oh, how are you doing? What's your name?" They're asking it like more. It isn't that personal if people ask you that. While here in Austria, nobody, not a waitress or anyone, asks you, "How are you doing? What's your name?"
Yeah.
They only ask you that if you know them. So maybe that's maybe I was a bit, influenced by that because it was so new that like a waiter was asking me for my name and how I'm doing, and he was talking to me like normal, like I knew him, you know. Maybe that was influencing me, but besides that, like everybody was so helpful. It was so nice. It just US, fantastic country, love it.
I really want to go there. It's one of my dreams. And I also, when I watch videos on YouTube about like people just being outside in the US, I love like the landscape just in general. Even if you're not at a beautiful place, like at a beautiful beach or the Grand Canyon or wherever, you know, just a flat, endless landscape.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but I just love that so much.
Yeah.
It's just the vibes,
And
you know.
you literally can't imagine how big it is. Like when my grandpa went to the US, he always told me he flew to New York, and from New York he took a plane to LA, and on the flight he fell asleep. He woke up and he was still over land. Like that's crazy. You don't get that anywhere. You don't fly over land for such a long time anywhere else. Maybe if
Yeah.
you're going across Russia or something, but it's just such a big country. Like it's unbelievable.
And that's what makes it so amazing, you know. There's so many opportunities, so many, like you have desert, you have snow, it's just
Yeah, tropical
unbelievable
vibes.
for us.
Everything. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. Not comparable to Austria.
Not at all. In Austria here, like if I look outside the window, I see mountains, which
Yeah.
you know, for some people that would be amazing and beautiful. I mean, I'm used to it, you know.
Yeah.
But for me in Austria, it seems like everything kind of looks the same.
Yeah, you know, you get used to it. That's a problem. Like sometimes, like once in a while, I look at the mountains and I'm like, wow,
Yeah.
it's so beautiful, so nice, especially when the sun's out, when the sun is shining on the mountains and you see like a big mountainscape. But besides that, I don't know, like you get used to it, sadly. But probably Americans also get used to their view. You know? But Americans can go anywhere and they can go from Florida to, I don't know, Ohio or to the Great Lakes or something like that.
I wouldn't go there.
Yeah, okay, Ohio probably not. But, you know, something about the NBA. LeBron James got nominated for something. He's from Ohio.
He's from Ohio.
He's from Ohio, yeah. Like, I don't know which city, but like a pretty small city.
Okay.
Yeah. He's now the GOAT. People say he's the GOAT, but it's still like a big discussion. Not with not like with Ronaldo and Messi, because that discussion is over since the World Cup. Like Messi is the GOAT. No comparison after all. Like literally no comparison. Messi is number one, and if anybody tells otherwise, punch them.
But I mean, Messi. People always say Messi won the World Cup, but
Yeah,
it was his
he
team.
did. I know, but he won as well. He held the trophy. His team won it for him. He's like a god. Like everybody orientates towards him. Like his whole team wanted to make it happen so that he gets the World Cup. Nobody thought about themselves. They just wanted to get Messi the World Cup. And they wanted to get Argentina the World Cup. But mostly, probably, in their minds, they wanted to get Messi the World Cup because Messi deserves it.
Yeah, I mean, that's huge if you have a team like that on your side.
Yeah, it's crazy. Crazy World Cup. Also, the Super Bowl happened last weekend. Also crazy.
Like this, do you know the Breaking Bad commercial, like with the chips?
Oh yeah.
Was that at the Super Bowl?
I've seen it. That was a Super Bowl ad, yeah, with Jesse and Walter and what's his name? Tuco. Yes, exactly. Tuco. Sí, mi hablo español.
I don't know if that is even moderately.
Sí, muy bien. I had a Spanish coworker once, so I know Spanish, you know.
Yeah, he's valid.
Yeah, the only thing I remember is muy bien, but it's alright. You know, I can speak so many languages. Like parlez-vous français? Oui. Croissant.
Parlo italiano.
Sì, parlo italiano.
Yeah, we had Italian in school.
Yeah, I don't know how we managed to make it through.
Jesus. Like, if our teacher wasn't as nice as she was, I would have never.
Miss Bilden, she's a legend.
Shout out to her. I owe her. Literally, without her being so nice, I wouldn't have made it through school. So, thanks to you,
she's such
Miss
a legend.
Bilden. I think Josh made it too because she was, you know, she just understood and she gave us chances.
She was very understanding.
It's very understanding. Yes, great.
Like a mom, like a real mom, or like maybe. I mean, she's not as old as a grandma, but it was like a grandma. Like she was so caring and understanding and feeling, and she gave you so many chances to like improve and better yourself and better your grades and everything like that. It was like probably the best teacher we've ever had.
She was the type of teachers, you know, they're the teachers that say, all right, you have to be good at my subject, and that's all that matters, right? But she was the kind of teacher. She was the kind of teacher. She was like, you know, she understands that we're not really good at the subject because, you know, we had two choices, Latin and Italian. But she understood that. She was like, okay, you guys, I understand you're not really good in my subject, but you don't really have to be. I know you're great in other subjects, and she basically didn't want her subject to stop us from graduating.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, very understanding. I mean, she was phenomenal. Like, without her, like, the school would have been so much more ass.
Yeah.
Like, she was a light in that
But
school.
in general, our teachers in general, they were super
at our high school. Middle school was absolute horror.
Oh, hell nah.
What do you call it? Is it middle school?
I
like
think
we gotta explain the Austrian education system. So there's
kindergarten.
kindergarten. Like how many years is kindergarten? 2 years.
Two.
2
2 or
years
3.
kindergarten.
2, yeah. I think 2 is normal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
2 years kindergarten.
And then
after
preschool?
that's elementary school,
Yeah, elementary school, yeah.
which is 4 years.
Yep.
And at the end of elementary school, you can choose. You can choose between
A
like
gymnasium.
gymnasium, which is like a middle school, but like which is preparing you to go to a high school, which then is preparing you to go to university.
Yes.
Or you can go to like a middle school, which is preparing you to go to like a job school.
Yeah.
And then prepares you to go into a job.
So after elementary, you basically go to middle school, either gymnasium or standard middle school.
Yeah.
And then you go to high school, which is also 4 years, but you don't have to go there.
Yeah.
And if you go to high school, you get a thing called the Matura.
Yeah.
And that's a thing in Austria that's basically...
Like with that, you can do anything. You can apply for jobs. You can go to
You
every
can go
university in all of Europe.
Yeah.
Like it's yeah. But there's also like the option of going to normal middle school, and after that, you go to how do you explain it? Job school or work school.
Yeah. It's
which is-
basically 1 year of school, because in Austria, you have to go to school for 9 years.
Yeah, 9 years.
And
So
when
you
you're done with middle school, you only have 8 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unless you repeated a class or something. And if you only have those 8 years, there's a school you can pick that is for 1 year.
Yeah.
That just kind of fills that gap and
Yeah. It prepares
teaches you
you.
stuff about work.
Yeah.
So you can then start
You can
working.
choose like to be an electrician or to be a construction worker or something like that. A
Yeah.
plumber. It prepares you for that, and then it helps you getting a job at a company, which then instructs you about how to do your work.
Yeah. So you learn at the company.
And then you work at the company.
Yeah.
Or you switch companies, but
Yeah,
that's
but
about it.
so now that you guys have some sort of insight, I mean, if you're from Europe, even Austria, Germany, you
It's
probably know what.
it's pretty much the same in every European
Yeah.
country.
But American school system is really, really different to ours.
Yeah. Also, our school system is like so much better.
Yeah.
Like not to front American guys, but I could go to an American university and I would understand more than people that were studying for 2 years already at the college. That's what you call it in America.
Yeah.
Like when we get out of high school, we are at a higher standard than people who went to college for like 2 years in the US.
Yeah, our school is just, I think, just, more difficult
Yeah.
because we learn more stuff and more complex stuff. Our English teacher told us that as well. We were talking about the school system in America, and our English teacher told us that American high schools would be really easy for us.
Like every exchange student I know, because our schools have like exchange student programs where you get sent to an American high school for like half a year or a year, and everybody I've talked to said it was the most easy time of their year. Yeah, like they didn't have to study for anything. They could just write a test, and it's not even their first language. Like they could write a test in English. Like it didn't matter what it was, maths, chemistry, biology, anything. They could just do it easily.
Yeah, I mean, some of the words, in maths or chemistry or physics, you would have to learn because we don't really learn those in English
Of course.
in school. But yeah, going back to our very, very, very horrible time at middle school.
Yeah,
It was
disgusting.
The school
It
was
torture.
disgusting and old. The teachers were disgusting and old.
It was fucking torture.
It was
To be honest, it was mental and
and
for you
physical.
and physical torture as well. Yeah.
It was like we had this. Oh my god, this is so cursed. So basically, we're the classroom, right? First floor.
Yeah, first floor.
Right? And outside of the windows, there's like this little, I don't know what you would call it, like
Like
just-
you have that like how do you call it? Like a small table in front of your window where you can put stuff or something like that.
yeah, it's like a little surface that
Window.
sticks out.
Yeah, exactly.
And so what we did, but it wasn't right at the window level, it was below the window, right? Because there were classrooms underneath us. So there was this little surface sticking out of the wall, like just. So I don't know really how to explain it properly, but just imagine like a little platform that
Yeah,
goes out of
they
the
understand
wall.
it. They understand
Yeah.
it.
So what we did was, because I have to say, we are really, really horrible kids. We're horrible. I will admit it.
Probably deserved every little bit of that middle school. We deserved it.
Definitely. And so what we did was, at lunch break, right? We all had our lunch, you know, some had meat, some had like
Meat.
and basically we were taking leftovers from our lunch and we're just tossing them out the window onto that platform. And we just left them there for years.
Yeah.
And I remember one guy once ordered McDonald's at lunch break, and
That's also crazy, bro.
That's
Ordering McDonald's and a lunch break at school, that was crazy.
and he ordered one
in
burger,
middle school.
one burger with fries and ketchup, and the ketchup is gonna come in. So what he did was
What the fuck? What did you just say? The ketchup is gonna come in, okay.
I was gonna say the ketchup's gonna come in later in the story. So we took that packet, the little packet of ketchup you get at McDonald's, and we poured that shit down on that platform underneath the window. And at the end of the year,
then it started. We poured every bit, like every lunch break, we took some food and we put it on that pile of ketchup.
God, it was disgusting.
And at the end of the year, it was just like, it was disgusting.
That ketchup was black at the end of the year. Like, people were leaning out the window, looking down, and it was just like.
Also, regarding windows, like people got like hung out of the windows at our school. Like we would take people and we would hang them outside of the window and hold them with our arms.
Sometimes first or second floor, which
Yeah.
doesn't sound like a lot, but the school was built really tall. So
Yeah.
the first floor was already like, I don't know,
4 meters.
4 or 5 meters. Yeah.
Yeah. So on the second floor, like if you'd fell down from the second floor, you'd be dead.
Yeah, definitely.
Probably.
Or you break both of your legs and
And we also
spine.
we had gas chambers.
that sounds really fucked up. But
Yeah.
let us explain.
You know, like I think I speak for the general public if I say like probably most kids in Austria and Germany, like as fucked up as it sounds, but probably most kids have like a Nazi phase.
Yeah.
Like a
Yeah.
phase where you think Nazis were funny and like you say like
All the
phrases,
controversial stuff.
you say
yeah.
all the controversial stuff, and like you think it's so funny because I know, you're young, you're learning about it, you think it's funny, people are making jokes about it. Nobody really takes it serious, nobody thinks it's really great or it's really funny, like it's just jokes. But we had those what do you call them in our classes,
What do you mean?
like with the gas chambers?
Like the what's it called? The lockers.
Yeah, the lockers.
Yeah.
We had lockers in our classroom.
And you could move them.
And you could move them. So, sometimes we take people.
I am not included in that story.
No, you were taken into the gas
Yeah.
chambers. He was a
I was once a victim of
Yes.
of those chambers.
he was
yeah.
a victim. So Jerry was a victim. He was a victim. We would take people like Jerry,
Yeah.
not regarding to any type of group of people.
No, nobody knows what I look like.
We would take people like him, and we would put him inside of the locker and then spray.
And they would like, there was this one line of lockers that was fixed to the wall, and then were like these 3 tall lockers that were just not.
You could push them.
Yeah, you could just like move them around.
Yeah.
And they were right at the corner, right? So they put me in the corner and they closed off the lockers, right? And they sprayed like, I don't know, deodorant or something that smelled.
Deodorant and like
Yeah.
fragrances and everything like that.
I mean, the stuff you have with
But-
you,
But like so much, like you couldn't breathe.
Whole class.
Like the whole
Dude.
room, like basically half of the school smell of it.
They literally, basically.
Like you couldn't breathe. Like when Jerry was in there, he couldn't breathe, and I'm pretty sure he got like damages for the rest of his life
Yeah,
because he
I've read-
breathed in so much deodorant.
Like the whole classroom. I remember then, after that happened, right? The teacher came in, and the teacher immediately said, "Who sprayed around with deodorant?" Right? Because the whole class was just
Everything was
the
smelling
windows
of
open.
deodorant. Everything.
It was horrendous, but the whole middle school time was just filled with
Yeah.
such horrible memories.
And like it was so fucked up because Jerry, like this one time, Jerry was put in the gas chamber, and like all the guys sprayed deodorant on him, and in the gas chamber, well, I shouldn't even call it a gas chamber. No, I can't call it anything else. It was literally a gas chamber, and people thought it was funny. Like one time, the teacher came in and she asked, "Why does it smell of deodorant? Who sprayed
yeah.
who sprayed the
Deodorant.
deodorant the deodorant?" And then people started accusing Jerry
No,
of
one guy. One guy said it was me, but it was
David.
the guy who
It was
actually
David.
did it. Yeah.
Fuck
His
you,
name is
David.
David.
Fuck you.
He said that I did it, but actually he did it. And then I managed to somehow like turn the tables, and then I said no, he didn't. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
The teacher kind of ignored it.
It was
'cause
so
like,
fucked up. It was so fucked up. Like the whole, like I got kicked out of a class. Like I had to switch classes twice. Like the whole middle school phase was so fucked up.
there was like there was two different types of school. Like there was two different types of what
Like
do you
it
call
was
it?
one building and two types of schools in it.
Yeah, basically. And one type was on the upper on like upper story, and the other type was on the ground floor. I was on the regular one, right? So there's the regular one and sort of a special one where you do like
It's like a business school.
yeah,
And
you
you
just
could-
learn things yourself. Basically like
Oh,
more
you mean that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. No, okay. Then it's not two different types of schools. It was just two different type of teaching systems.
Yeah,
In
yeah.
the same school.
There
Like,
was a regular teaching system, which was the more difficult one, and another type of teaching system where you
Like-
did more like self.
like it was like modern orientated. Like
Yeah,
the teachers didn't try to teach you something. The teachers tried to teach you to learn.
yeah.
So
They
you could
taught
learn
you
by
to,
yourself.
Yeah. So, but those kids were even worse.
Yeah,
Like-
because they had no like discipline, or they didn't get told anything by the teachers because they were just left alone to do anything they wanted.
Yeah. So the walls on that ground floor
Oh
they
my
were
God.
covered in ink. Like there were just streaks of ink
disgusting.
across the wall. It was
It was disgusting. I'm pretty sure. Do you remember like one time we went in school and the whole school smelled of puke?
yeah.
Like
Oh my
everything smelled of puke, and we didn't know what the heck was going on. Like everybody in school was walking around like making gagging sounds, like everybody, literally everybody. As soon as they walked inside of the school,
God. No, that was in our new school.
no, that was in the old school.
Wasn't that in high school as well? Where like the chemist in something in the chemistry room was
No, that wasn't the
Went
old school.
wrong.
That wasn't the old school. And then we asked like, what is happening? And just this random ass biology teacher pulls up and says he brewed some kind of acid, which stinks, of puke, and like he didn't mean to like freaking make the whole school stink of it, but
Well, that was-
everything, it was just.
and
Torture.
was
Literal
that in
torture.
winter as well?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, because
the
I
school had
remember
to
we
be-
couldn't like open the windows because it would be so cold.
The school had to be evacuated like once because the how do you call it?
The ceiling?
Yeah, the ceiling was about to fall in because of all the snow.
They
that was
literally
laying on
had
there.
to do an emergency an emergency patch up of the school. Like they didn't want to make the school better, but they had to.
Yeah,
They had to make the school better. They had to do renovations
yeah.
because it was just
There was so many reservations. They had to build like a container. school.
renovation.
Yeah, they had to be like a container school. So they built like
Yeah.
a container school out of containers to like get the
Teach the kids in containers,
yeah
in literal
teach the
containers.
kids while the school was being rebuilt and renovated
But luckily,
for like 2
That
or
was-
3 years.
yeah. But
But
luckily
that's
that
how
was
bad it was.
we weren't at the school anymore
Yeah.
when they did that. Luckily,
But they had to renovate a school for like 2 or 3 years.
it was horrible.
That was how bad it was.
Horrible.
Like emergency evacuations because the ceiling was about to fall in. It was freaking crazy, and
I
like
mean,
the heating didn't work in the winter. Like
Yeah.
and we're living in Austria. Like this isn't like, I don't know. This seems like some third world countries type of stuff.
Yeah, that school was just horrific. Like,
Yeah, and like because well, at first I was in the regular system, and because I couldn't do it because the teachers were so hard on me, and I was like this bitch ass boy. who couldn't handle like teachers screaming at me and everything. So I changed classes and went into a class which had this like
Special learning.
this special learning where you could learn for yourself and stuff. But it also wasn't really good for me because I had way too much time and I didn't have no discipline at all at that time. And I would just mess around the whole time.
You wouldn't do anything for school.
And I messed around. Well, my grades were better than before, but like I got in so much trouble in that time, and I got in so much trouble that I eventually got kicked out of my class, almost got kicked out of school, and then I went into a regular class again, a different regular class, and then it was the first time I met Jerry.
And we've been best friends ever since.
Yeah.
But that time it smelled like
Do you remember
puke.
the first time when we did something together?
Oh my god, don't even bring it up. Don't even bring that up. We
Okay.
can't say this.
Yes, we can. So the first time, I had a computer. I had like an expensive gaming computer when I was a kid.
And you have to think,
And I had
when I was at his age, right, he had all this stuff like computer and a phone. I didn't even have a phone. I got my first phone when I was like
14.
14
Yeah.
or 15.
Yeah.
And that was a shitty, like that was just some random phone we found in our house. Like the first proper phone I got was when I was like 15 or 16. So
When we
I
went
had
into
no
high
idea
school.
about the internet or none of that stuff, right? And Josh had all the things. So yeah, Josh, keep going.
Yeah, so I had like this PC and everything. I had a phone. I got my first phone when I was like 10 and stuff, which was a big mistake. Like looking back, like I won't give my kids a phone until they're like at least 12. And I had unrestricted access to the internet,
Yeah.
which also was a big mistake because the first time Jerry and me did something, like we sat down, we went to my like desk, we
Yeah.
put on the computer, and I just showed him, some like ISIS decapitations and like murders and like all types of stuff. So yeah, like I think probably his friendship is a trauma bond if you think about it.
That's the time where we're both like, all right, we're both traumatized, but we can deal with it if we stay together. So
Yeah.
talking about trauma,
Oh,
should
no.
I tell this? Should I tell the story?
Oh, no. Oh my god.
Should we keep it for
Yeah,
another
let's
episode?
keep it for another
let's
episode
keep it
because
for
this is
another
like really
episode.
special. You can talk about that for probably like 2 hours.
Yeah, that is. You guys will bring it up in a future episode because
Yeah.
that's very special.
That's crazy. Okay.
But
so-
that biology teacher, bro, he thought it was Walter. Hey guys, Jerry here. Spoiler alert. There's some pretty hefty spoilers coming up for Breaking Bad. So if you haven't watched it, you're currently watching it, whatever, you just don't want to get spoiled, you can skip that part. You'll see it down in the video timestamps. You can just skip it, and yeah. Just wanted to let you guys know.
Oh god. regarding Walter and Breaking Bad, I finished Breaking Bad yesterday.
I watched it before him. I told him to watch it.
Like I was late to the train. I like wanted to watch it like 3 years ago, and I watched like half of the first episode, and I thought to myself like this is mid. I don't want to watch it. But now Jerry watched it, and he said it was so good, and I have to watch it. So I watched it. Well,
Now listen, Breaking Bad fans, listen. Prepare to hate comments. please.
well.
He's scared. He doesn't
I
want to
can't
say,
say
it.
it. Okay, fuck it. No, probably like one person is gonna listen to this. I think it's mid.
Bro. I'm so offended by this. You don't even
I
know.
think Breaking Bad is mid.
But why?
I don't know.
No,
It's just
because
mid.
you probably skipped through
Nah, I skipped like max 10 episodes where I skipped like 10 minutes of it. But like,
so you missed
like
100 minutes.
like the scenes with Skylar and stuff, and when she was like fucking Ted, I was like, I don't care about her. I don't want to see her. I want to see her doing anything. Like I hate Skylar so much. I didn't want to see her.
That's relatable, though. I think everybody who's watched Breaking Bad is like, oh my god, Skylar, that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Walter Jr. is so cute. Oh God.
And that's another thing that he just says that I don't understand.
Like at one point, Todd was my favorite.
Todd
was my favorite character because when he killed that child, like
That's why.
He was my favorite character back then. But
Spoilers, by the way.
Yeah, spoilers.
Spoilers.
Okay, shit. But Walter Jr., he's so cute. Like he's always nice. He's always smiling, like everything. And also, he doesn't mess around with bullshit. When his dad called him and told him about the $100,000 he was gonna send him, he didn't like normal people would fold under that pressure. Like when your dad calls, who's a criminal, and you're struggling and you're a criminal. And you're struggling and everything like that, and then your dad calls and offers you $100,000. Like normal people would fold, but he was like, "Fuck you."
He was like, "I don't want your
Die.
money." Yeah, he just said, "Why don't you die already?"
Yeah,
but you gotta,
crazy.
we gotta try to say it in his voice.
Over the north.
I could.
What does he have actually?
What?
Like what is his condition?
I don't know.
That's
his condition in real life, though.
Is this his condition in real life?
Yeah, he's not acting. He isn't acting that condition. He has that condition in real life. Yeah.
Hey yo, that's crazy.
He talks the way he talks. He talks like that in real life.
What?
Yes.
But did they search for like an actor who was like?
No,
I don't know.
I looked
like
at
him.
I looked at an interview and he was like, he got the job like just out of coincidence, He was like
That's
wanted to
crazy.
be an actor,
That's
and
crazy.
he
With his
basically
condition,
learned on the job.
With his condition, that's crazy. That's like literally crazy. That's so cool, to be honest with you.
That's but he has that condition in real life. I don't know what condition it is. I hope it's nothing that affects his later life.
I thought it was like I thought he was acting. Like I didn't think that himself, the actor, like had this condition.
He actually does. That's
crazy.
just the way
That's crazy.
That's why you would need some top of the shelf acting to pull off.
That's crazy. Like with Hank, like being shot like the 4 times, and after that, like learning to walk again, you could see sometimes that he was acting like that he couldn't walk. Like he'd move his legs slightly when he was in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
And when he walked, like sometimes he forgot to like, how do you call it, hump? Like walking around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but Walter Jr. actually has that condition as an actor in real life.
That's crazy. That's literally crazy.
That's why it was so realistic, because it's literally.
Well, now he's my favorite even more. Like, that's crazy. That's so cool, to be honest with you.
That's amazing, yeah.
Okay, so give me your best Walter impression right now.
All right. Well, what should I say? Wait, let me try.
I can only give you like these meme impressions.
Jesse! Jesse, we gotta cook, man.
Water. Put your dig out, water.
Is that Mike?
I'm like, yes.
Wait, let me try Jesse.
Bro, I can't do Jesse.
Yo, Mr. White.
Hey, yo.
Science, bitch.
Hey, yo, that's good.
Well,
Not gonna lie, that's good.
Let me try a different.
Try Walter Jr.
I'm not gonna do that. I'm
Okay,
just not
now
gonna.
we can't do that. Oh my god, now it's offensive. Because if
No,
he
we
has the
can't,
condition in real life, oh my god.
We can't do that. We
Oh my
won't
god,
do that.
if he would have acted it would have been fine. But he has that condition in real life,
No,
so
we're
now
not
it's
gonna make
offensive.
fun of him. No, that's not okay.
Nah, he cute.
He's
No homo
amazing.
though. No homo.
Wait, let me try like when Walter said, "Skyler, I am the danger."
Bro, sometimes I was so cringed on by Walter.
Why?
I don't know, bro. Like the way he talked, like sometimes he needed to be humbled.
Yeah, he thought he was
Like, shut the fuck up.
like Mike said. Just because you shot Jesse James, don't make you Jesse James.
Exactly. Like Mike was a good influence on him. Mike humbled him a bit.
Yeah,
But
Mike was like I loved Mike as a character because like he was so aggressive and like
But
at
also
the
caring.
same time so passive,
Yeah.
He was like so calm and stuff.
Yeah.
But at the same time he had like this, I don't know, this aggressive aura. I don't know.
But I don't know. It's like he was a bit stupid. Like
Mike.
yeah, like putting Walter in that in the lab.
I mean the
and
thing
then
is
walking away, and then Walter stealing all his methamphetamine and all his methylamine.
I mean
then him
the
being
thing
shot,
is
like
when Walter got into the lab, he first was with Gail because Gus didn't want Jesse. But then Walter told Jesse that he's out. Walter said to Jesse, I'm in, you're out. Right? And then Jesse was like, all right, fuck you, I'm going to snitch.
Yeah.
And then Walter was like, oh, I don't want Jesse to be killed, so I have to get Jesse into the lab so he doesn't snitch. But Jesse was using drugs, so he never showed up on time, and he was slowing the whole operation down. And then Gus got angry again, and
But do you think Walter actually cared about Jesse?
He did. He saved Jesse's life so many times. He actually genuinely cared about Jesse.
I think so too. Like going towards the end, I was like, I don't know if he really cares about Jesse. Maybe it was just like to achieve his goals, or I don't know what his mission was like regarding Jesse. But like at the end, where he like went after the people who stole like his money, and he then killed every one of them, and he freed Jesse, and he let Jesse go, and then he like, spoiler alert, like don't listen to this if you didn't watch Breaking Bad yet. And then he like died. Like then I saw like he really cared about Jesse.
Yeah, he actually, Walter cared about the people. Like he considered Jesse family. That's why.
I don't really think he didn't care. Like he cared about everyone, but he did it for himself. Like he said to Skylar at the end, he did it for himself. Like he told himself he was doing it all for the family and all to like help his children and stuff, but in the end he really did it for himself.
And he got greedy. He only needed 737,000. He was offered 3 million, which is way beyond that, but he got greedy.
Yeah, but the way he like set up Gretchen and her husband to give his kids the money, it was so smart. And then he also told Skylar he doesn't have any money left, so they don't think it's like Walter's money if they get the money and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So smart.
Literally, like the whole plots in the movie is just, if you haven't watched Breaking Bad, watch it.
Yeah, watch it.
At the beginning, it might be a bit boring, but
it's
gonna be worth it.
Yeah, like even me, I think it's mid.
Swear to God.
But even I'm telling you, like, go watch it. You won't regret it.
It's I think it's the best series I've ever watched in my entire life.
Some episodes are like a bit boring, but like everything is connected to each other. So even the boring ones, like you literally have to watch it.
Literally, the smallest little details are like connected in a big way. Like it's like insane.
Like the one where he was trying to catch the fly, and then like in the, I think it was like the second to last episode, you saw like the fly flying around in his office. And then you remember like the one time he tried to kill that one fly. Like it's so connected.
The point about the fly was Walter kept saying something about contamination, right?
Yeah.
And Jesse was then sent to the cartel to set up a meth lab. And then Jesse wanted to buy time, and he said because they didn't have the hydrochloric acid. And then Jesse said, "Well, this is not good." Well, I'm gonna try to do an impression of him.
Please don't.
Okay, no, I'm not gonna. And he said, he can't work here. This is all. It's not hygienic. You need to clean everything. You need to, because of contamination. Because Walter taught him that.
Yeah.
And that saved his life in the end. You know?
Exactly. Well, moving on from that, have you seen the Prime ad at the Super Bowl?
No, I haven't.
Well,
like the Logan Paul and
KSI ad. Yeah, they were the first ever influencers to have a Super Bowl ad.
That's gotta be like
Rice Gum was in an ad like in 2017 or something, but he was just like an actor.
Mm-hmm.
And now this is like the first ever influencer created brand which had a Super Bowl ad.
That's gotta be so expensive.
Which is crazy. Yeah, it's like one of the most expensive ads in the world.
Yeah. Isn't it the most expensive?
Nah, I think the World Cup is more expensive.
Oh, okay,
If you get an ad in the World Cup final, that's like, then you made it. Like you also made it if you have an ad in the Super Bowl.
You made it in general if you can afford.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. But like I think like 150 million people are watching the Super Bowl every year. That's crazy.
We gotta run an ad on that.
Oh God, 150 million people watch that ad.
That is insane.
Also, like Prime is doing so well. I don't know how these guys come up with all these ideas and how they manage it, but they got a partnership with the UFC now. Like they're the official sponsoring drink of the UFC. Like every athlete in the UFC now drinks Prime.
I mean, they were fighters though, so that's probably that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really good. They sponsor Arsenal and stuff like that. Like I can't wait to see like how this goes and how far this goes and where this goes. Like it's crazy. Like I can see them like sponsoring Real Madrid or like Barcelona or any club in the world. Like they can literally do anything.
At this point,
At this point, they can do anything, and nothing seems impossible anymore.
Yeah, if you have the right
crazy.
kind of money, your opportunities are just endless, you know?
Yeah. Also, regarding Logan Paul, his brother is fighting Tommy Fury in 2 weeks.
Oh.
Have you heard anything about that?
No, I'm not really in the boxing scene.
Okay, so let me explain it to you and to the people out there. So Tommy Fury is the small brother of Tyson Fury, and Tyson Fury is...
I know, yeah, he's
is the heavyweight champion of the world. He's like this big bald guy.
Does he have like one eye?
No. He got 2 eyes.
Did he do did he do like like something with Kevin Hart, like in an ice bath?
Nah, that was Floyd Mayweather.
Oh, that was Floyd. All right.
Yeah, Floyd is a small African American dude.
Oh yeah.
But Tyson is this like big English guy. He's gypsy. He's like 2 meters tall or 2 meters 10 tall. He doesn't really look like a boxer. Like I fought like UFC 4, like the game. I fought with him. He's like this big chunky guy. Like he doesn't look like an athlete at all. But he's the best boxer. Like not of all time, but in recent years he's the best boxer. And his little brother is now fighting Jake Paul. And if Tommy Fury loses, he has to change his last name, and he doesn't come back to England. Like his big brother said, don't come back to England, and you have to change your last name if you lose against Jake Paul.
Damn.
And
wasn't there something about a tattoo as well, or was that something else?
That was Tyron Woodley.
Okay.
Yeah. And Tyron Woodley actually got this tattoo.
Oh, that's
He
good.
got a tattoo. I don't know what it was, but on his finger he has a tattoo, something reminding him of Jake Paul.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, I think we should wrap this up. It was a good first episode.
Yeah. A lot of
topics, yeah.
Mixed topics.
a lot of Breaking Bad and a lot of war topics, but you know, it's all right. We still got a lot more to talk about.
We got big plans, yeah.
Yeah, we're probably gonna record another one this week, but we'll probably post it next week. Yeah. Thank you guys for listening. If you're listening, subscribe, favorite it on Spotify, like it, share it with your friends. Really, really, really share it with your friends. If you listen to this, we really appreciate you, for real. Like, you mean so much to us.
Thank you.
Thank you, for real. And
you're the OGs, you know. If we make it, you're the OGs.
we will make it. We will make it. Some type of way, we will make it.
All right, guys. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
And we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Goodbye.